What up, everybody? This is Big Elbow, chilling with the Chachos, Averno, Atlantis, and this is part two to my haul from that liquidation sale in Fresno. For those of you who didn't watch the last video, let me give you a quick recap. There was a liquidation sale in Fresno, California, a place called Wonderland Comics or whatever. They had some kind of change in ownership. Anyways, they put all their shit for sale, 50 cents for anything. And whatever they had out there was 50 cents. So it was cool. Well, it wasn't cool, it was fucking hot. That was the only problem, is it was an outdoor sale and it was just crazy fucking hot. I almost died, but I made it and it was worth it. I'm glad I went. So I'm gonna get into it. So a while back we took a trip, me and my son and my brother Erndog and his son, and shout out to my brother Erndog just in case he's watching this, and my son Crucito, my nephew Noha, my other nephew Dallas. Anyway, so Dallas is my brother's son. Him and my son, they got into a debate about RoboCop versus Terminator, and it made me think of, like, I remember there was a comic, so just happened to find this one for 50 cents. Number 1 of 4, RoboCop versus Terminator. And here we got number 3 of 4. So now I just need to pick up number 2 and number 4. And then I got this Puncture number 1 from com.x comics. I don't know if you guys remember com.x, but they had it was like I believe it was a UK comic company, but they had another book called Class War, and also I think they did Bazooka Jules. But anyways, I have Puncture number 2, which has this cover, which is pretty badass. So I figured I'd check it out. So I picked that up. And then here I got some comics that are very near and dear to my heart. I love all these old indie black and white comics. So here we have from Aircell Comics, Samurai number 13. And these ones have art by young Dale Keown, who went on to do Hulk, and then his own creator-owned project, Pit. And there's number 13. Here's number 14. And also from Aircell is this book called Body Count. And I only picked this up because the artist and writer, he did a series called Gun Fury. I fucking love that book. So I'm hoping if this is something like that, or in the same vein, you know, good, some funny shit. So I don't know, I think there's 4. Oh yeah, well, number 1 of 4. So I'm gonna try to find, if it's good, I'll try and find the other ones. And then from Silverwolf Comics, here we got The Night Master. That's drawn by Tim Vigil, who I love the Grips comics from Silverwolf. And when I used to read those Silverwolf comics, I'd always see the ad for Nightmaster in the back, and I always thought, man, that looks bad. But I never got the chance to, I never seen it in the shop, so I was pretty happy to find that. Also from Silverwolf is Edge, number 1. I used to have this when I was a kid, and it was pretty cool. It's the same vein as Grips, a little like super violent vigilante, killing people type shit. You know, that was the era, so yeah, I like that. Here's number 1 and number 2. And at that sale, man, everything, like I said, everything was 50 cents. If there's more than one thing in a bag, they were like, fuck it, it's 50 cents. So I got both of those issues for 50 cents. And then after Silverwolf, I guess, went out of business, Greater Mercury Comics ended up getting a lot of their characters. So here's another Edge number 1 from the Greater Mercury. I mean, they had a couple copies of this, and my dumbass still got one that was ripped in the corner. I could have got a better copy, but fuck it, whatever. And here's a number 2 featuring my boy Grips. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that issue ever happened. So I was happy to get those. I picked up this Ninja Turtles from 1992. It's black and white. My Ninja Turtles collection is just It's embarrassing. I don't have hardly shit, man. And it's sad because I was reading the Ninja. I was one of the few kids that was reading Ninja Turtle comics before the cartoon came out. So I knew when the Ninja Turtles cartoon came out, I fucking hated that cartoon because I had read the comics. I got pumped up thinking it was going to be like the comics, just being a dumb kid, not realizing, wait, it's for kids, you know. Anyway, so when I actually saw the Ninja Turtles cartoon, I was like, man, this shit sucks. Everybody else liked it. I was like, man, fuck that. Anyways, all those old issues that I used to read, those are all belong to my brother, and I don't have any for myself. So whenever I can find a Ninja Turtles, you know, black and white Mirage, I'll pick it up for cheap. And then I got this, which I remember was real hot a couple years back. Miracle Man #1, when they were having like some kind of legal issues, I guess, with Alan Moore and Todd McFarlane, and I don't know if the comic companies were involved or what. But I remember there was a big old thing about it, and they wanted to reprint them, but they couldn't, and so you had to buy the old issues, and it was real hard to find. But for 50 cents, I picked it up, and it was actually really good. I read it; it got me interested. I want to seek out the rest of the issues. Now, I'm not going to pay crazy prices for them, but if I can find them, you know, I'm going to take them. I seen on my comic shop, most of them are reasonably priced. They're not too bad. So I don't know. I'll probably try and pick them up either through my comic shop or, you know, in the bins and boxes or whatever. All right, so let me get to my Marvel stuff now. So here's X Factor #10. I've never been a big X fan. I mean, the X-Men are cool and stuff, but they've never really been my thing. To me, it's always hard to know where to jump on. But anyways, there was a girl who does some videos. I think she goes by Comics Reader or something like that. She's from Canada. I'll have to look it up. I'm sorry, I can't remember right now, but she sold me on it. She was showing off her X Factor collection, talking about it, and for whatever reason, I had figured that #10 was a good starting point, and so I stumbled upon it. I was like, all right, cool. And for 50 cents, there's actually 3 copies in here of this one, so that's cool. I mean, I don't know what I need 3 copies for, but I'll take them. And I always liked this X version, you know, this version of X Factor. I like those X-Men costumes, uniforms, and I like that this version of the X Factor is the original team. It's Cyclops, Angel, Iceman, Beast, and Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, whatever. There's #11, and there's #12. So those, got both of those together for 50 cents. And I also like Hairless Beast. I always thought he was cool. And I got some more Marvel stuff. I got the Mighty Thor, some Thanos going on in there. Thanos and Mangog. I'm filling out that run. I only got like, I think, 5 more issues to go. I'm trying to get all the John Romita Jr. issues on that because, you know, I'm a big John Romita Jr. fan. Here's 1602 from Marvel Knights. This is like a Elseworlds type thing. I always thought it looked interesting. I don't really know what the hell's going on in there, but like I said, I always thought it looked interesting. I've been wanting to check it out for 50 cents. And from as far as I can see, all of them are affordable. They're all pretty cheap actually, so I shouldn't have too hard of a time finding those, I don't think. Here's one I've been reading as I've been picking them up. Deathlock, book 3 of 4. I've been lucky enough to find these in order. I found the first one, then I found the second one, and here's the third one, so I just got the 4th one to go. I found them all in the cheap boxes, and it's cool. It's a nice little story so far. Then one of the last Marvel things I bought was the New Warriors, Defiant, Volume 1. I pretty much just got this because the art looked decent on the inside, and it was 50 cents for a fucking full graphic novel. And or trade paperback, I guess you'd call it. $15 cover price for 50 cents. I figure if I don't like it, maybe I could trade it off at the comic shop or with a dealer or something. As long as I can get more than 50 cents for it, then fuck it. And that brings me to my mission complete. I found Punisher Warzone #1. I already had a copy. I had this copy, but this one's all jacked up, big old creases, and it's actually, the cover's even torn across right there. So that one's all fucked up. So I got this one for 25 cents. That was good enough for the time, but now I upgraded, got me a nice clean copy for 50 cents. Here's #1. Here's #2. #3. Now these I didn't find at the sale. I found the one that completed the run that I was trying to get, that #1. The rest of these I got different places, but none of them were more than $1. Most of them were 50 cents also. This one I paid 99 cents for. It's #4. #5. #6. #7. #8. And #9. I don't like this cover. Not a John Romita Jr. cover. But yeah, I don't. It's not the whole run of Punisher Warzone, but I don't want the whole run. I just want the JR covers, not covers, but issues, ones that he drew. I think he's something better to look at than that. Go with this one. I love this run. It's the Punisher that I like. It still feels like a superhero comic, even though, you know, Punisher is a crazy vigilante, he's killing people and all that shit, but it still has that fun superhero feel to it. At the same time, I like to call this version of the Punisher the Paisanisher, because he goes undercover as what's his name, Johnny Tower or some shit like that, and he's just basically a big old Guido, and it's pretty cool. Chuck Dixon writes it. It's just fun, man. It's a good run of Punisher. Probably my second favorite run, next to Circle of Blood. And yeah, that's it, man. That's it for that Liquidation haul. A lot of cheap comics. I found some stuff that I value for my personal collection. Maybe some stuff that I might be able to flip. So I had a good time, man. Even though it was hot as hell, I'm glad I went. And I want to thank everybody who watched. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, show a friend, something. And that's it. So hopefully I can go to Stockton Con next month. Maybe I get some stuff over there, make another haul video, and that'll do it. So yeah, man, get off YouTube and go read some fucking comics.